Hi, welcome to Room 9, our region's largest classroom. I'm Mrs. Williams. I teach first grade in the Windsor C1 School District. That's in Imperial, Missouri. This is
Mrs. Forth. Hi, everybody. I'm from the Rockwood School District. I'm excited to be here with you today as we learn a little bit about reading and math. So before we start, we really want to know,
where are you? Are you near the airport? Top Golf? Are you out at Six Flags?
That's where I live.
Yay! Are you near the Magic House? Closer to the zoo? Maybe you are close to the St. Louis Arch or the Mississippi River. That's where I'm at. I'm a little bit south of St. Louis in Herculaneum near the Mississippi River.
It looks like we have friends from all over St. Louis joining us today.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
Very exciting. Okay, let's go ahead and start with our welcome poem. I'm going to point to the words. Feel free to join along with me as I say them. Ready? Welcome, welcome, everyone. How are you today? We are so glad to be with you, learning math and reading too.
And speaking of how are you today, we need to do a zone check because before we get ready to learn, each day we check in on our body and brain. Really smart scientists that study brains know that happy, calm brains do the best learning. If you are in the green zone, that means that you are calm, you are happy, and you are ready to complete your work, help others, and reach your daily goals. And this is the hand signal. So if you are in green zone, show me you're green and good to go. If you are in the blue zone, you might be feeling a little slow and low today. You might need to draw a picture, get a hug, or think some happy thoughts to be ready to learn. Your hand signal will look like this. If you are in the yellow zone, you're maybe a little frustrated, anxious, or maybe just really excited in a good way, but not ready to learn yet. So you need to take some deep breaths, get a hug, or talk to an adult that can help you be ready. If you are in the red zone, you have flipped your lid. Your hand signal looks like this, and you're probably not learning with this right now. You're very angry or upset about something. You need to stop, get help from an adult, take some deep breaths, and check the size of your problem. So show me your hand signal. Are you green zone and good to go? I hope you are. If you are blue, yellow, or red, choose one of our strategies to help you get ready to learn.
Are you guys ready to get started today? All right, before we start, let's do our Room 9 chant. Can you read this along with us? Okay. I am smart. I am kind. I am brave. I am
me.
Hi friends, welcome back. I'm glad to see your smiling faces again. Yesterday we started talking about L blends. Blends are when two consonants come together and make a blended sound, which means it kind of goes really fast. So even though you can hear each sound, it comes together so fast that it can be tricky to hear both sounds. So I'm going to start today with you by saying some words, and I want you to see if you can identify, which means pick out, the blend at the beginning. So I'm going to say a word, and you're going to say the blend back to me. So if I said block, you would say bull, bull. Okay, are you ready? Okay. Clown, clown, coal, plant, plant, pull. Good. Blouse, blouse, bull. You guys are really good at this. Flower. What's the blend? Flower. Bull. How about clay? Clay. Coal. How about glasses? Glasses. Goal. How about black? Bowl. Flag. Bowl. Great. So the beginning of all of those words was an L blend. An L blend is when the letter L and another consonant are working together to make a blended sound. Pull, plant, plug, play. I have a new book. I know. Don't you love it when it's time to share a new book? I have a new book. It's another nonfiction book. Do you guys remember what we do with nonfiction books? Yeah, nonfiction books give us information. And we can read them in parts. And we see text features. Great. And we read and stop and think along the way. You guys are really good at remembering all the things that we've been talking about. So this new book, because you love baby animals so much, I've noticed, is another baby animal book. This one's called Baby Chipmunks. Look at those little chipmunks. And this is another one of Bobbie Kalman's books. So the author, Bobbie Kalman, and again, she works with Crabtree Publishing. So thank you, Crabtree Publishing, for letting us read this book. Thank you, Bobbie Kalman, for writing this book for us to enjoy. So we're going to get started reading Baby Chipmunks, okay? So when we're reading nonfiction, what part of the book do we like to start with first? Yeah, absolutely. The table of contents is a great place to start. I'm so glad you remembered that. So I'm going to turn to the table of contents so we can get an idea of what we might find inside this book. So baby chipmunks, kinds of chipmunks, the squirrel family. I'm wondering, are chipmunks part of the squirrel family? Never really thought about that before. And then the next says, what are rodents? That sounds interesting. A chipmunk's body, chipmunk habitats, mothers and babies, finding food, chipmunk facts, fun with chipmunks. Okay, well, you know I always like to start with the first part to get my mind ready to read all about what the book is about. And this book is about baby chipmunks, so it would be perfect to read the part on baby chipmunks. So what page do I need to go to? Page 4. Okay. All right, I've got a heading, Baby Chipmunks. Remember, a heading reminds us what we're going to be reading about on these pages. It kind of gives us a heads up, like, hey, you're going to read all about baby chipmunks. Are you seeing any other text features on these pages? I agree. I see some bold words. Remember, bold words are words that pop out at us. And those are important words that the author wanted us to know. So I see mammal, born, chits, pups, cubs. I'm recognizing some of those words from other books too. Yeah. Oh, over here. Do you remember what that's called when there's information under a picture? It's more than a word or two, so it's definitely not a label. It's a caption. It is a caption. These are captions when they tell us more about what's happening in the picture. So we want to make sure as we read these pages that we read the caption too, because there's important information. Okay, baby chipmunks. A chipmunk is you can read along with me, mammal. Mammals have hair or fur on their bodies. A chipmunk has fur covering its body. Mammal babies are born. They come out of their mother's bodies. Baby chipmunks are called kits, pups, cubs, or just baby chipmunks. Okay, let's stop and think a little bit about what we read on that page. What can you tell me that you read on that page? Okay, they're mammals. Baby chipmunks are called kits. Yeah, I remember that. Baby foxes are called kits too. Yeah, that's the same. They also could be called pups or cubs? Great. So on this page, we learned chipmunks are mammals and their babies are called kits or pups or cubs. Good job. Okay, let's move on to the next page. Baby chipmunks are born in litters. There's a bold word, litters, of 2 to 8 babies. A litter is 2 or more babies born at the same time. So they're born in litters, and a litter is when there's 2 or more at the same time. So I'm thinking that chipmunks don't have just one baby at a time. Yeah, that bold word really helped me think more about what Bobbie Kalman was trying to teach us. The babies are born without fur. They are blank and tiny. Uh-oh, I covered part of the word. You know I love mysteries with you guys. I wonder what that word could be. The babies are born without fur. They are blank and tiny. I'm going to give you a clue. I actually covered up a blend. So let's think of some blends that we've been talking about and see if we could figure out what this word is. What are some of the blends that we've learned about? Oh yeah, a P and an L together like plant. Okay, so I'm going to write this. What would be another one? Maybe a G and an L, a B and an L, a CL. Okay, let's try all of those. Okay, so now I'm going to go back and try to figure out the word. So, plind. That doesn't sound right. I think I'm going to change this vowel sound because I know sometimes vowels can be long, which means they say their name. So I'm going to try it both ways. So plind didn't work. Blind. Nope, that's not it. Let's try this one. Ready? Glind. That's not it. So let's switch that vowel. When you see the I, you're going to say I this time. Ready? Glind. I don't know what that is either. Definitely not it. Okay, cross it off. Ready? Blend. They are blend. Switch the vowel. Ready? Blind. Blind is a word. Let's try it out in a sentence. Blind. Ready? They are blind and tiny. Do you think that's it? Let's see. You got it. They are blind and tiny. Their ears are blank. Their ears are blank. Uh-oh, another one to figure out. It's a blend again. So let's see. Their ears are, give me some blends. EL, FL, GL, CL. Okay, let me write the rest of the word. Okay, I'm seeing some parts in here for sure. We have the blends at the beginning. I know that ED at the end of the word can make the D sound or the T sound. So that might help me out. Okay, and then there's a O, which we know could make ah, or maybe even O. Are you ready to try? Okay, blast, nope, blowst. Yeah, I'm thinking that's not it. Nope. Let's try this one. Ready? Flowst. This one's tricky. Glassed. Their ears are glossed. No. Glosed. Their ears are glosed. I hope this is it, or we'll have to think of another blend. Closed. Their ears are closed. Their ears are closed. That would make sense. If they're blind, maybe their ears aren't working either. Let's see. Their ears are, did it, closed. Their ears are closed. They cannot see or hear until they are about 1 month old. Wow. Readers, did you notice what you did? We got to a word that felt tricky. And when you get to a word that feels tricky, it can stop things from making sense. So do you remember this chart from yesterday? What readers do? And we talked about how you read and you think, does it make sense? And sometimes when we get to a word that we're not sure about, this is when things stop making sense. And so we used a strategy. Today, readers, we used the strategy of thinking what would make sense and looking at the letters too. It's a great way to figure out tricky words. So we were using the reading process as we were reading today. So before we finish reading, I don't want to forget about the caption, because remember, all the parts in a nonfiction book are really important to read because there's always extra information. On this part, what did we learn about? Yeah, they're blind when they're born. Oh, their ears are closed. Yeah, they can't see or hear at first. Great, you were able to retell that part in your own words. Okay, let me read the caption to you. Look closely at the picture as I'm reading the caption, okay? Can you see the picture up close? Mammal mothers make milk for their babies. The milk is made in their bodies. Drinking mother's milk is called nursing. These baby chipmunks are nursing. Look at those chipmunks. Yeah, they're born without fur. She told us that in that other part. Yeah. Look at that. You can see the little arms here. And there's an arm and there's an arm on this one right here. Wow, they look very different as babies, don't they? I just love reading nonfiction because I learn so much about things as I'm reading. So today, as you're reading, remember, do what readers do. They always stop and make sure it makes sense. If you get to a word that isn't making sense or feels tricky, remember, you can think, what would make sense here? And then look at the word to see if it looks right, too. It's time for you to go see Mrs. Williams. I can't wait for you to join me tomorrow. Off you go.
Thanks, Mrs. Forth. Hi, guys. It's time to get growing our math brains. And you know that we like to warm up with a little mental math or a little bit of counting. So let's see how we're counting today. We're going to be counting by 10 to 50 and then counting on 3 more. And today we're going to clap it. All right, so let's go ahead and get those hands ready. Remember, we're counting by 10 to 50 and then counting on 3 more. So we're using our 10s and our 1s to grow our rainbow brain. Remember, 10s then 1s. Here we go. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 51, 52, 53. Great job, guys. Awesome growing your brain. So today we're going to be working on building 2-digit numbers. So we're going to build them, and we're also going to take them apart. We're going to use 10s and 1s to do that. And we're going to do it in 3 different ways. Because if you remember, we had some envelopes turn up in our room 9. And they have some kind of clues on the back. And it said that we had to make each number 3 different ways. And some of them are even puzzle pieces. So we've got 2 parts of our puzzle already. Let's see if we can get some more. Let's check our first envelope and see what's inside. Guys, it's another puzzle piece. And this number is what? It's 44. So I'm going to go ahead and hang our number up, and we're going to get building. Remember, yesterday we traded our 10 frames for a hundreds mat, place value mat. It shows the hundreds, 10s, and 1s. We kind of like to think of those as houses. So we're going to go ahead and use that and our number bond, and we're going to write the number sentence. And yesterday we started stacking up our number sentences. So let's keep growing our brains. Here we go. So if we're thinking about the number 44, how many 1s do we need? Yeah, we need 4 1s. Go ahead, and if you don't have paper, grab it right now, or a whiteboard.
so that you can show your numbers just like us. Now let's look at the 10 spot. How many 10s are in 44? Yeah, also 4 10s. So does that mean the same as 4 1s? Everybody say, no way. Because for each 10 we have, that means we made a group of 10 ones. So each one of these represents a group of 10 ones. Now, can you imagine trying to carry 40 worth of ones around in your pocket? Everybody said that's ridiculous. And that's why we use our little tens disc to represent each group of 10. So we have 4 10s in 44. So we can go ahead and write that underneath as 4 10s and 4 1s. See how our number just kind of pops out there? That's going to be really important coming up this week because we're going to start adding those 2-digit numbers. Now remember, we said that we could break our number into the 10s and 1s. The whole number is 44, but if we have 4 10s, we say 10, 20, 30, 40. So we can break it up by the 10s and 1s. We have 40, and how many 1s go together to make 44? You're right, it's 4. And it's like saying 40 plus 4 equals 44, or we can say the flip-flop. 4 plus 40 equals 44. Let's make an addition sentence from our number bond. That would be the third way to show 44. So remember, we're stacking them up. So we have 40, and this is the one side. So when I put my 4 underneath, I'm going to be very careful to keep it on the one side. So we know that 40 plus 4 gave us 44. 4 1s and 4 10s. That's 3 different ways, so we've earned our puzzle piece. Let's take a look at it. Oh, look, guys. Look at the cute little acorns. I wonder what this is. Any ideas? Let's take a look at the puzzle pieces that we already have and see where this guy might fit. Does it go here? No, this part bumps out and we need a straight side here. What about here? Does that make sense? No. What about here? Oh, guys, I'm starting to see a little picture take shape. I wonder what this guy is. I'm going to tape this down a little bit more so our puzzle doesn't run off on us. All right, be thinking about our picture. Let's see if we can get another puzzle piece. While I reset our board, I want you to start working on the number 63. How many 10s are in 63? Yep, it's 6. How many 1s? Yes, there are 3 in the 1s place. So let's check and see. We can build off the number we had before. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 in the 1 spot, but we don't need that guy. We can take him out because we only need 3 1s, and we need how many 10s? 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 6. So 5, 6. So now we have 6 10s and 3 1s, which gives us 63. And that's our whole number. Did you put it in your number bond? Let's split it up by the 10s and 1s. If we count by 10, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, we have 60 in 10s and 1, 2, 3 1s. So that's like saying 60 plus 3 equals 63, or 3 plus 60 equals 63. We could do the flip-flop. Let's go ahead and stack these up and show our number sentence. And I'm careful to keep my 3 1s underneath my 0 1s because remember, this is the 1's house and this is the 10's house. It would change our number entirely if we mixed them up. All right, did we do it 3 different ways? We did. So now we can check our puzzle piece. Oh, take a look, guys. What do you think that is? Let's check and see where it will fit. That doesn't seem right. Could it be here? No, that leaves a hole in our puzzle. Do you think we should move it up? Oh, guys, look, a little owl sitting on the branch. Do you know what this guy might be? I don't know. Let's go ahead and check our next envelope and see if we can finish up the puzzle. Rats! We're not finished with our puzzle yet today, but look, we do have another number to build to grow our rainbow brains. So while I'm resetting our board, you start on 52. What's in the 10 spot? Yep, it's 5. How many ones do you need? 2 ones will do it. So let's build this off of our last number. Do we have the correct number of ones? No, we need to take 1 away. Do we have enough 10s? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, but this guy would be an extra, so let's get him out of there. Now let's check and see. 5, or 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 51, 52. Awesome, we've got it. So 2 ones, 5 10s, and 2 ones gives us 52. That's our whole number. Let's put it in our number bond, and then let's break it up into 10s and 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 10s gives us 50, and 2 1s. Let's show the addition sentence from our number bond. 50 plus 2 equals 52. Awesome work, guys. I hope you had fun growing your rainbow brain with me today. We'll go ahead and remember our Room 9 rules. Rule number 1 is be safe. Wash those hands. Keep your hands, feet, and things to yourself. Rule number 2 is be responsible. Do your work and your chores and try to do it with a smile on your face. Rule number 3, be respectful. That means treat other people the way you would want to be treated. And rule number 4, make yourself proud. Thanks for learning with me, guys. See you soon.
Teaching in Room 9 is made possible with support of Bank of America, Dana Brown Charitable Trust, Emerson, and viewers like you.